Hello, Mandira community.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
We are here talking about the upcoming full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces that's coming up Thursday night. It starts Thursday evening. It's at 4 degrees Pisces. It starts late in the evening, and then the kind of peak eclipse shadow occurs at 12:12 a.m. Friday,
The 28th.
the 28th. We love the 12:12.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but it's in Pisces, which is the 12th sign of the zodiac. So cool, fun with numbers. So what does this lunar eclipse full moon kind of represent? So the full moon in Pisces carries a lot of energy of endings. Pisces, as the last sign of the zodiac, really has very potent energy around completion. And the fact that the lunar eclipse is happening in Pisces, and by the way, this is the last lunar eclipse in Pisces for the 19 years. And the next lunar eclipse in Pisces will take place in 2045. So this has very strong, let's put an end to some stuff energy around it. So there's a lot of kind of creating boundaries that comes up for people in the sign of Pisces. It tends to be a very, very deep, very spiritual, lack of boundaries sign. There's a call to address that. There's a call to want to create a framework or foundation to move into the next phase. And one of the things that needs to happen to do that is creating space, is creating the space for something new to come into your life, and very important to leave that which doesn't serve behind.
Okay, so the eclipse is in Pisces, which is opposite the sun in Virgo,
Right.
right? So Pisces, intuition, emotion, spirituality, water flow, dreams. And Virgo,
It's none of that, by the way. Virgo
body,
is none of it.
practical
Right.
action, right?
Right. Yes.
So there's a
Framework, structure.
polarity there.
Right.
Okay, framework, structure. Okay. So Pisces is like this flowy energy of intuition, like what's my soul saying? And then Virgo's like, what are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Was that right? Okay.
Let's put a
So
routine on that.
yeah. And Pisces is like, what? So Pisces is a water sign, and we are aligned in that this is also called the Sturgeon Moon. And it is called that because in indigenous cultures at this time of year, they would hunt for the sturgeon because they were at their peak growth. And when you would catch and cook one of these huge sturgeon, it would feed so many people because they were enormous. Now, the sturgeon fish are very interesting fish. They're like over 100 million years old. Like they're really, really old fish. These are old fish. And so they have the historical context to them. but they also live deep, deep in the lake, like way under the surface. So the sturgeon represent what also isn't visible, but is really big and is really is something that is a lot of energy and potentially ancestral, long-standing energy with that historical context.
So I think it's important to note that not every full moon in Pisces is a
Hmm.
sturgeon moon. So this one
Right.
tends to align really nicely in that regard. Pisces, its representation is the fish, right? So Pisces is the fish sign, basically, and then we have the sturgeon moon. And Pisces is also very much kind of because it's the last sign of the zodiac, it's the wise one. It's been the one that's kind of you've gone through the around the
Mm,
horn completely, and your spirituality comes from the wisdom of experience. And so that's another really cool alignment with what you just said about
right.
the the old sturgeon fish that are like big, massive, old creatures.
Old creatures,
Old
old
creature.
fish. So they're around like the dinosaurs?
I know. It's just what I'm envisioning is these like
Crazy. I
monster
know.
things. So,
Ancient,
um,
but I mean, they kind of look like it if you look at what they look like. They're kind of creepy looking.
do they look like kind of, well, back to the fact that they're like way deep,
Yeah.
um, kind of where they live in their body of water is very deep. So it's very kind of murky, comes to mind. It's very unclear. And that also ties into lunar eclipse energy because, we're all so kind of in a lunar cycle, a full moon, we all associate with illumination, that we're
Mhm.
going to gain clarity on that which we wish to release or what have you. The, the lunar eclipse, conversely, is murky.
Mm,
It's unclear because what happens is the alignment for the sun, earth, moon is so kind of perfectly aligned that the earth casts its shadow on the moon. So that illumination that we're used to seeing every 28 days is not there. So that's why there's always themes of energy is chaotic during eclipses. That's not your typical full moon. So that being said, that alignment with the deep sea sturgeon in living
hmm.
where you can't see it, that's probably
Yeah.
another reason why it was celebrated that they caught one, is that what are the chances?
Yeah.
They're so, you know what I'm saying? That
Right. Yeah.
it must have felt like a
Such a
massive luck.
celebration.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, and eclipses, they come in cycles, right? There's the this particular Pisces lunar eclipse, as I mentioned, is the last for a very long time. Um, there are some astrological theories about looking back at past lunar eclipses in a particular sign. And I did that today. I took a look for me and for you, for that matter.
Hmm.
I went back to the last Pisces lunar eclipse was in 2007. And then prior to that was in 1988. And
Were those in August,
and there
did you
were in
say?
August, indeed, yes.
Yeah.
So the I looked back at kind of themes of what was happening in my life at that time. And I asked you to do the same to kind of see how
Hmm.
that theory played out. And it was pretty cool, actually. I mean, it wasn't like hit the nail on the head each time, but there was a running theme that could be kind of analyzed and thought of like, okay, these are the things that are coming up. And it could have something to do with what house it's in for you or merely that phase of your life. But it's kind of a cool exercise to do just to understand what what has happened in the past may be repeating in a way that is serving, and there might be a lesson in something that's happened in the past.
Right. So evaluating around August 1988, around August 2007, and looking at what were the shifts and changes, like, or things that were coming to a culmination or being released or being transformed at that time, and seeing how they relate to what's happening now in your life.
Right. And that's very
And it's very cool. I will tell you just too, with like working with clients, everyone's going through big transitions right now. Like everyone that I know has
right.
something big that's shifting and changing. So as a collective, this is occurring. And then as the collective, but also on the personal level. But I think it was really cool when you pointed out those dates for me to go back and go, what was happening? Oh yeah, that was a kind of a weird time. And
Right.
to think about how that mirrors, or well, maybe not mirrors, but reflects what's happening now, and all the good things too, that although those were challenging times, all the good things that came from it.
Right. The whatever was there was what happened after that particular shift.
Right.
And um the one thing though, when we're talking about looking back at dates and analyzing, that is analytical. It is applying some kind of a analytic logical lens to something that is probably the least logical
Mm,
phenomenon. One of the things that we were talking about earlier, and I think it's a kind of a good time to bring up now,
mhm,
is the the illumination and the or the lack thereof during a lunar eclipse is going to force anyone who's kind of taking a look or taking stock of what's happening right now, whatever the shift may be, whatever the feelings might be, the emotions. And there needs to be, because of that kind of the light being obscured or in shadow, how can you see? How do you see? You need to rely on your intuition.
mhm,
You need to trust.
mhm.
And that can be very uncomfortable. Bringing up again, like
Right.
why people feel uncomfortable during eclipses is because I think we're all being asked to rely
Mhm,
on a side of ourselves that we may not kind of default to, right?
mhm.
Um, and with that being said, how can we hone that? How can we hone our intuitive skills? How can we help ourselves through this process? In other words, like whenever we speak, what do we do? What do we do?
Right. So what do we do with this energy? I
Yeah.
mean, the first thing is recognizing the energy that we're in right now, and for yourself, I think using your own intuition and discernment and how you feel, and whether it makes sense. That's the first way of our intuition, is, does this feel right to me? Even the things that you and I are saying, does that resonate? Does it feel right? That's our
Mhm.
intuition. So the first is checking in with yourself, and how am I feeling right now? And being totally in the truth on that. Um, so that's the first thing. And then always during a full moon, your intuition is going to be amplified. But now we've got this eclipse and the Pisces and the Sturgeon. So there's an amplification not only of your intuition, but also like all of the other parts of your intuition. So maybe your clairvoyance, your clairaudience. So taking time to honor whatever it is that's coming up for you. And I say this a lot because it's been my experience, but when I started to really take my intuition seriously, I started to realize that the depth of my emotions is the depth of my intuition. So if you're feeling very emotional, honoring that too, and knowing that that's just a part of who you are and the gifts that you have. So I think a lot of it, the first part is, where am I? Who am I? How am I really feeling? And can I honor this even if it's uncomfortable?
Right.
And then secondly, or third, or whatever it is, after that, what do now with that, just in self-care, in your ritual, in your practice, again, intuitively, what feels right for you? And I was saying, like, Sue, do you think baths are good because it's such a water sign? And the sturgeon, if that's something that resonates for you, doing your pink Himalayan bath and with essential oils and all of that to help you release, then that's wonderful. But it could be something else, like you were saying, like going to the beach, putting your feet in the water, going for a walk in nature. What helps you connect to your own intuition in the way that
Right.
works the best for you? Not what does
Yes.
somebody say you should do. It's like, really, what really works for me?
And then whatever in doing those things, in
Mhm.
in kind of embracing those practices, what comes up, what and pay attention,
Right,
be present enough to kind of hear what your
right.
higher self is telling you. And more than likely, what will come out of that is what needs to be left behind
Mhm,
in order to move into that next phase. As we look at kind of we're at we're at the 12th sign of the
mhm.
zodiac at 12:12 on Friday morning. Um and then and
It's like the
then
universe is joking around with
I
us.
know they keep handing the numbers. I
It's
love
so
it.
funny.
Um but what we're choosing to do in ceremony,
Mhm,
is a cord cutting ceremony. So
right,
perhaps we should talk about what that looks like for those
right.
who've never experienced
So
it with
is
us.
so the to simplify, and we could do, hours or day long talks on what
Mhm.
energetic chords are, but from a big picture standpoint, between everything is energy, and between you and other people, you and belief systems, you and the other, there's energy that is shared. And we all share love because that is what we are. But in some situations, we share the old stories, the maybe karma, the old fears, old relationship memories, other other energies between either you and another, or belief systems, or even experiences or fears. So there's energy that attaches from us to another. So if we think about a cord cutting, what we're doing is consciously saying, I am ready to release this. It is a tangible, energetic signal that says, it is time to let this go, and I am ready to. So the process that we're doing in ceremony is with a candle that represents yourself and that which you are releasing, with a cord between it that will be burned during the ceremony in alignment with energetic healing and statements and channeling and all that stuff that goes along with it,
That
to
makes
keep it
sense.
gentle
It
and
does.
safe for
I've
you.
I've done it many times.
Yeah. Like,
I've had the coolest, I mean,
I know, the
not
sea.
only do we do it in ceremony kind of as a group, right? So it's all just in the number of like the collective. It's an amplified and very special experience, but I've done many just on my own with the ritual kits that we have.
Mhm.
And there's always something profound that happens. Like the
Right,
wax will drip in a certain way, or the
right.
manner in which the cord burns and reattaches. Like I've had all kinds of cool, crazy
It's
stuff
wild.
happen.
And it's always so specific to this, to the thing that you're
That's right.
releasing, which is
That's
always
right.
like amazing. You can't plan for it. You can't say, okay, this is going to be, this is what's going to happen. We just put it out and let go. And then something incredible usually occurs.
Occurs. Exactly. So we are doing our group cord cutting
Mhm.
ceremony on Thursday evening, 6 p.m.
The
Both,
27th. Yep.
yes, both in person and
It's
virtual.
both in person and virtual. It's a part of your membership, or you can drop in, or you can bring a friend. Are welcome to come. And then we're selling, if you want to take home a cord cutting kit to do on your own during this window, you are welcome to, but you could also hold on to it too for the next. It doesn't have to only be during an eclipse. We love to do cord cutting during full moons. But really, I have done them at all different times. There's been times where I'm like, I gotta let this go. It's ruminating.
Right,
This thing is happening. And so there's no set time that you have to do it. But in the ceremony, we will be, that is an actual cord cutting ceremony. You do not need that little kit to be a part of it. We will be doing it together as a group.
right. And then whatever your personal cord cutting intentions are, um, you'd be doing that at home. It's not like everyone
Yes.
in the group
Right. Right.
is
And with that, right, you
doing
get instructions and all that.
exactly. And
Yeah.
also if we can ship them out too. And people can have them within the energetic window if they order them
Right.
in the next couple of days.
Awesome.
Um, so it's on our website. It's in the apothecary.
Yes. 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 And more to come there. So we hope to see you on Thursday.
Can't wait.
It's very exciting.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, everybody. Reach
Thank
out to us with any
you.
questions, and we will see you soon.
Bye bye.